Have you had enough of the cryptocurrency market going up and down? I have a movie for you. Now, it looks like some of the well-known chart analysts I follow are finally saying that the bottom may have been reached for XRP. It says that XRP is just settling down before the next big move, and he thinks that XRP's price will soon be moving by more than 10%. Also, Bitcoin does rule the market, whether you like it or not, which is why I'm starting the movie with that. I don't care about it, but first I'm going to quickly talk about Bitcoin. A well-known expert says Bitcoin may have hit rock bottom, one of the most well-known experts in the whole cryptocurrency world, in fact. There's no question that this latest XRP Insider Hot Jam will be mostly about XRP, but I'm also seeing a lot of bottom talk from well-known experts with good track records. I'll start with one thing, since Bitcoin is the market winner. You should care that Bitcoin goes up even if you don't care about it, because you know what will happen next, right? If we do get Bitcoin, that will be the last steep push. In its own time, history likes to rhyme with itself. Because of this, it's possible that the next season will be a crazy, chaotic one. On this show, I'm always talking about the many reasons why this is most likely going to happen. XRP is worth $2.83. Prices have been moving sideways a lot over the past day. Bitcoin is worth $109,127 at the moment. This is pretty much what we've seen over the last few days. I know that everyone is tired of it. People, we won't be here forever, and trust me, things move faster as you get further into a market cycle. Not like the beginning of a bear market where the market can build up for more than a year before it does anything really important. I promise you that you don't have to wait like that here. I promise that every cycle, as the end gets closer, there is less time for fun things to happen. Here is a thread that was made by chart expert Willy Woo. With over 1.2 million followers on X, he is without a question one of the most well-known crypto commentators ever. Along with that, he gave some study based on data from Swissblock, a great on-chain analytics company. This is what he said about it. He says that after weeks of decreasing inflows, the Bitcoin network created its first daily print of rising flows. This is the first sign that the Bitcoin structure is bottoming. In this last part, you can see a very small tick up. He showed this Swissblock map and then said that the macro cycle risk had hit a lower high and was now going down. When the MCR goes down, investors are putting money back into the network. And of course, that's the red line he means. It's at the very bottom of this screen. It is falling right now. He then put this up from Swissblock too. He said that the Swissblock risk-off signal based on statistical trader behavior has reached a little peak and is now going down. To sum up, he thinks Bitcoin is becoming more stable, which lets buyers build a good structure. I'm sorry that the speed at which I spoke was off. Bitcoin is settling so that a bullish structure can be built. A lot of dip buying would have to be made by investors. So far, this process has started. It's not a sure thing, but these look like they might be signs that Bitcoin has dropped. Because of this, you need to see more price movement to feel more confident. But a lot of experts are talking about the idea that Bitcoin might be bottoming. I'm just giving you this one case. A lot of experts who are keeping an eye on XRP say that there's a good chance it's bottoming. I can't promise anything, but now might be the time you finally notice a difference. According to Credible Crypto, the chance is very high. And researcher of charts called Credible Crypto wrote this piece on Saturday morning. And he then said, in the event that Ethereum skips its lows here, I believe we will likely see them again in the future. The XRP USD chart you are looking at now is the one that interests me the most. The XRP BTC and XRP USD charts are also interesting to me. Before I thought that the XRP drop might be almost over, I wanted to make sure that they had hit their important swing lows. A few posts from Credible Crypto stood out to me because I think they are some of the best experts out there. Here's what I see in the numbers, he said, warning that XRP was at $3. If you've watched my videos over the last few days, I've talked about how the market is changing. This is what I'm saying. XRP did, however, fall, and it did. Perhaps it went down to $2.76, $2.78, or somewhere in that range, so that he could be sure it was a good idea to think that maybe XRP was about to go down. He was waiting for that to happen. He then went on, it's also important to note that XRP BTC didn't test the local market at range lows when it hit its swing low. This is the picture for XRP/BTC that you can see now. He says, usually I'd like to see this test. We did the same thing with XRP USD when it was worth only $2 before it went up to over $3.60. This means that instead of pushing through the gap or inefficiency to the local market below, you should take the lows and turn them around. In simple terms, it didn't need to sink that low. But it got to the point where he thought, okay, this is good enough, before it failed. He goes on, let's see if this really was the bottom for XRP. We should know soon enough. That is why, once more, he is not promising that. He wouldn't even think about the idea that this might be the bottom if he didn't think it was a very real possibility. It's not just him. This post comes from Charting Guy. This one is also from yesterday. We have only moved sideways since then. In other words, this isn't really out of date or anything. He has a good point of view on crypto. Charting Guy says that XRP is back to where it was at the beginning of August. Check for this count to stay valid. I'd like it to stay at $2.65, which is one high. Even though we need more proof, I think we are almost at the bottom. And the message is a lot like the message of Safe Crypto. Most likely, the worst thing that will happen here is already happening. I'll keep you up to date as more and more experts agree. The more analysts I follow who have the same or a related point of view, the more likely it is that it is right. So far, I've only seen a few of them, but that was enough to make me take notes. I chose to tell you about it. It was written by Egreg Crypto, who looks at charts. His message was easy to understand. XRP is getting ready for its next big move, and as this circle goes on, you can finally see what he's... In fact, the end of September is what you're looking at if this chart schedule works out. The price movement could also change quickly. So I'm not sure if he's really promising that it will happen in September. On the other hand, you usually get about 2 or 3 weeks when XRP starts its last run.